gentlemen, welcome to Dish Nation. Is a man who has many hats, even though he's not wearing any today. I mean, actor, executive producer,
yes.
award winner.
Yes.
Make some noise one time for David Oyelowo.
Thank you.
Man, do you ever get tired of it?
No.
Yes.
You gotta thank yourself every now and then and just recognize that you are who you are.
Yeah.
I feel very blessed. Like your T-shirt says.
Thank you so much, man.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about this movie, Don't Let Go. Brat, you're going to love this film.
I can't wait.
Now, for people who maybe haven't been to the movie theater in a long time and haven't seen the trailer,
Right.
what is the breakdown?
Well, I play Jack Radcliffe, who's a detective in South Central Los Angeles. He has a wonderful niece, as played by Storm Reed, called Ashley. They have this beautiful relationship, but a tragedy happens. My family is murdered. That includes my niece, my brother, and my sister-in-law. I'm in a state of grieving when I suddenly get a phone call from my niece. And I, of course, am completely confused by this. It turns out time has split, and my niece is calling me from 2 weeks before her murder. So I've got to find out a way to reach through time and save her.
And it's such a complex scenario to deal with because, and it's hard to even talk about the movie with others without spoiling the movie.
Right.
But the stress level, and then once again, just to know that you watching really dope acting because, you're talking to us the way you're talking to us now, like in your native, dialect.
Right.
You do such a great job of making me feel like you're from South Central LA or California or something.
Thank you. Well, that's what I try to do. I always find someone who is from the place that I'm supposed to be from, and I follow them, I record them, I try and take on their idiosyncrasies so that hopefully I get away with it.
Like, who's your go-to for a character like that when you're looking at a character who represents that part of California? Because Oakland's different than LA, San
Absolutely.
Francisco's
Yep.
different than Diego.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
who do you look at?
Well, I never go to another actor. I find a real person. So I found an actual LA detective who I did ride-alongs with. I spent a lot of time with him, interviewing him, just hanging out with him so that I could really get a sense of what someone like that is like.
Got you. Now, following the storyline, to the untrained eye, it's like, oh, it's about time travel. No, it's not time travel. It's like multiverse.
Right.
Multiple things kind of happening at once, affecting other things.
Right.
Do you believe in this? In the movie aside, do you
Right.
believe in such thing as the multiverse?
Well, I believe in our desire and our hope to be able to change things, especially bad things that happen. I've lost people I love, and you find yourself thinking, what would I have done differently? What would I have said differently? If only I could do something to bring them back. So I know that's a true emotion. Whether what we show in the film is a reality or not, that I can't speak to, but I know for the character, one of the things I loved getting to play is his confusion at the fact that, is this real? Is this not? Am I going crazy? But it's almost like he willed her, or willed a chance to be able to save his niece because of just how much he loved her.
Got you. Now, you've notably made some really dope friends within the business. I mean, not so many people could say they got Oprah and Ava DuVernay on their speed dial. Do y'all ever just hang out and kick it for the sake of kicking it?
Yeah, we do. We actually were just all on holiday together in Maui together. And, that is where I get my sustenance, my nourishment. Oprah's like a mother to me. Ava's like a sister to me. And I've learned so much about business from Oprah. I've learned so much about, being an empowered creative from Ava. And that, to me, is what I think we just need to do. Personally, as people of color as well, it's what has been lacking for so long, is that level of advocacy, encouragement, and to have people you admire so much that you can get up every day knowing what is possible and go for it yourself.
Now, for the 99.7% of people in the world that will never have the opportunity to hang out with y'all three,
Right.
what's the vibe like? Who's controlling the aux cord? Who's picking the music? Who's figuring out who's going to lunch where?
What are you guys eating?
I know. Oh, well, the food. I mean, Oprah has the most extraordinary chef. So you just got to put the diet aside. Forget the diet. Just dig in. Look, we have a lot of fun. We watch movies together. We talk about everything. And as you can imagine, being around Oprah, you you can't have a conversation with her without it feeling like a life-changing one.
Okay. You've
know.
done a few things with her. You did The Butler with her as well, right?
Exactly. We did The Butler together. We did Selma together. There's a
Yep.
film I just directed called The Waterman that she's a producer on as well.
Awesome.
So, we are definitely in each other's lives.
Man, that is such a blessed position to be in.
It is.
And and I'm sure she probably feels the same way about you because I know you've been probably acting for a long time, but it just seems like in such a short span of time, you've landed some really dope, iconic roles and and been in things that really stick to people's ribs. And with this movie, Don't Let Go, it really shows that listen, we can do science fiction,
Right.
even if you feel like multiverse theory is a real thing, which I do. But we can do this genre and tell our stories within this and be a part of that conversation.
Right.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that because, they came to me with this film and as it was on the page, it was set on a farm in Ohio with white characters. It was not this world. And I just loved the concept, but I always want anything I do to feel specific and authentic. And I thought, okay, if it's me, I can't see myself on a farm in Ohio. So how do we make this feel real? And I'm always looking for ways to defy convention when it comes to how a cast is built out. I've done films that are centered around race, but I love it when we get to do stuff that is genre, that is action, that is comedy, that is, sci-fi, whatever, that isn't tied to that. And this was an opportunity to do that. So I just feel so privileged that we got to do it.
Now, watching the credits has everything rolled.
Yeah.
Actor, David Oyelowo.
Right.
Producer,
Yeah.
David Oyelowo.
Yeah.
Is the stress level higher when your name is popping up multiple times within the credits versus, hey, someone paid me to act, I came and did my job, and let's hope they market it right. When you the executive producer, man, you got to do it all.
Yeah, the stress levels are higher, but I would almost say it's about the responsibility. And it's a responsibility I like having. I want to have a voice at the table. I want to be there to be able to say, look, when it comes to representation, you guys need to do better. When it comes to marketing films with people that look like me, you can't just put it into the black film box and then decide that therefore means it's a lesser release, less money, less attention, and any degree of notoriety I have in order to be able to push that agenda is something I take very seriously.
Now, earlier you said, you wish there were certain relatives who you can talk to in the same way you talk to your niece in the movie Don't Let Go.
Right.
If there was anybody in pop culture who you could talk to and kind of navigate them through to make sure they didn't have something bad happen to them, who did you pick up the phone and call? Or who you hope would be on the other end of your phone?
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. That's a really good. Well, as you know, I played Dr. King in Selma. I think he was a huge loss. So he's someone I would have gone back in time and maybe told him not to be in a certain hotel on a certain day.
Man, that and when I was thinking about that question, there's so many scenarios because it's one of the things all right, if he survived that night at the Lorraine Motel or hotel, would there have been another incident? Would there have been another incident? Same thing, if we saved Tupac, if it wasn't that night in Vegas, would it have been another night? Same thing with Biggie.
Yeah.
Who else could we save? Whitney
so
Houston.
So many.
many.
Yeah. I am a believer in things happen for a reason, and the butterfly effect. If time travel, if this film is clearly for you in terms of the multiverse that you believe in. I do think that if you tamper with one thing, the repercussions of it could be, devastating. Maybe they would be good. I don't know, but definitely we all are affecting each other in infinitesimal ways. I mean, when we talk about Oprah and Ava, I met Ava because I sat next to a guy on a plane who was watching me on an iPad in a show I used to do in the UK. He paused his screen, looked at me, said, "Is this you I'm watching on my iPad?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Someone just asked me to put money into a movie. Is that a good idea?" I said, "What's the script?" It had been written by Ava DuVernay. I read that script. I loved it so much. I called her up, asked if I could be in her film, which is Middle of Nowhere. and that's how we ended up doing Selma together and have this beautiful relationship together. If I'd sat one seat behind him,
everything would have turned out differently.
It would have been different.
Now, let's just say if you did sit one seat behind that guy, what would David Oyelowo be doing right now? You still be
my goodness.
acting, right?
I'd still be acting, but, maybe Ava DuVernay would not have been the one to direct Selma, which for me would be not a good situation. Because, it was meeting her on Middle of Nowhere that really I found the person who had to direct that movie. So, I'm very glad it was her.
Okay, I got a question. You do so many serious movies. What do you do for fun?
Well,
when you're not working.
I know. It's a good question. I have 4 kids.
Okay.
And 3 dogs. And,
I have 6.
Okay, 6 dogs?
I do.
Wow.
They're my children.
That's extraordinary. Okay. So
I do.
You know what that's
time
like.
consuming.
So it's time consuming, but it's a lot of fun. And it's never a dull moment.
Absolutely.
So that's how I relax.
Now, similar to things being affected, have you ever heard of the Mandela Effect?
No, what's that?
Okay, so similar to the movie Don't Let Go,
Right.
Things happening in other places that may possibly affect the current. Do you ever remember the book about the bears? It was a family of bears, like Berenstain Bears.
No, I don't.
Okay, it's a UK thing. Okay, cool. What is the famous line that was said by Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump?
The box of chocolates line?
Yeah, that line.
Yeah. How does it go? Mama said life is like a box of chocolates.
Now, because of the Mandela Effect, now when you watch that movie, it says, Mama used to say life is like a box of chocolates. Like, there's been subtle changes to things that people remember.
Right.
Like, does Curious George have a tail?
I have no idea.
You know what? He's not going to say it, but I'm sitting here like, what in the hell are you talking about?
No, some people remember Curious George having a tail. Curious George, all of a sudden, doesn't have a tail anymore.
What does this have to do with Mandela?
Some people remember Nelson Mandela dying in prison. There's a large population of people who remember this. So that's why they call this phenomenon the Mandela Effect, because there's certain people whose realities are, play out a certain way than what we remember it being in this current time and space that we're in right now.
Maybe they just have bad long-term memory.
You know,
But they've been lying
And
to
that's
us.
another theory.
weed's been legal in a lot of places for quite some time. But millions of people can't be wrong. But whatever, though.
I hear you.
So, Don't Let Go aside, what's the next thing we could look forward to you doing? I heard you cooking up something with George Clooney for Netflix.
Yeah. We're doing a film together, it's a great script based on a book. And so I'm going to be in space. I can't say more than that right now.
Nice.
That's coming up. But like I said, this film I just directed, The Waterman, that'll be coming out sometime this year. I did this origin story of Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan with Angelina Jolie called Come Away.
Nice.
That'll be out soon. And then I have Peter Rabbit 2 and a film called Chaos Walking. So few things.
My man is all over the chessboard doing it all. Like, what's your kid's favorite movie that you've done?
They love this one. They really love Don't Let Go. I think because it has the action element, they don't get to see me do that much. And then the time travel element, the sci-fi element. Right. It's really cool for me to have done something that they actually like.
And shout out to your co-star Stormy. Like, she is in everything right now.
Yeah,
like, did you watch
brilliant.
Euphoria at all?
Yes. I go through, hands over my eyes because I have teenage children. That is a tough watch as a parent.
You have to you got to rifle through all your kids' stuff. How's your oldest child?
Well, he's 17, so exactly the same age as Zendaya.
So he wants to watch it.
I literally was saying, is this actually what's going on? And they're like, yeah, that's what my kid.
It's
I was
scary.
Just like, it's absolutely frightening. So yeah. But no, she is a brilliant talent, and I cannot get my head around her emotional intelligence. I mean, people who are going to see her in this film are just going to be blown away.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, they recently dropped the trailer for the Harriet Tubman movie.
Yes.
The lead actress, Cynthia Erivo. She's been catching a lot of flack for, I guess, not being African enough to play Harriet Tubman.
Right.
And,
or African American enough.
You go.
It seems to be, right.
And, the thing is, at the end of the day, can you sell it and can you make it believable? When you was Martin Luther King Jr., we believed you. What do you say to all those people who doubt what someone can do just because where they come from?
I think we have to go back to what is the actor's job. You know, the actor's job is to inhabit a role to the point where you hopefully convince an audience. And for me personally, it begins and ends there. I mean, should Forrest Whitaker not have played Idi Amin because he's African American as opposed to quote unquote African? Same thing with Morgan Freeman playing, you know, Mandela in Invictus. You know, you could even go on to crazily argue Chadwick Boseman playing an African prince in Black Panther. You could the whole thing could just disintegrate. Our job is to basically inhabit characters, and that's what Cynthia hopefully has done with Harriet Tubman. They should judge that, not her ethnic background.
Right.
Well, your job, you're doing it well.
Thank
This
you very
man right
much.
here is David Oyelowo. The movie is called Don't Let Go. Be sure you see it in theaters and bring friends and family with you so we can pack that thing out, man.
Yes.
Much
Amen.
love to you. If people ain't following you, where do they go?
They go to @David Oyelowo on IG.
There it is. David Oyelowo,
There it
y'all.
is. Woo!